On March 3 at 9:17 a.m., Jake Gyllenhaal reacts to Mysterio comeback rumors, and in 42 minutes the clip hits 1.8 million views. One tiny phrase sparks a chain reaction that nobody can stop. By 10:02 a.m., #Mysterio returns trends in 14 countries as fan edits flood every feed. Helmet shots loop like a countdown. The louder it gets, the more carefully Jake's team starts moving. At 11:26 a.m., a backstage photo leaks, Jake holding a script with a blurred cover page. 3 letters peek through the blur, MCU, and the rumor shifts from talk to timeline. Everyone expects a smooth dodge, but Jake leans into the mic and keeps his voice calm. The room goes weirdly quiet because the line he chooses sounds rehearsed for something bigger. The contradiction hits hard. Mysterio's death plays definitive on screen, yet illusion language starts popping up around brand activity. That mismatch is the first crack, and it keeps widening. Direct address, watch the wording, not the smiles. Because at 12:44 p.m., a quiet "no current projects" statement appears, and the loophole inside it becomes the gasoline that fuels everything next. At 2:03 p.m., a cryptic story goes up with purple smoke imagery, then disappears within minutes. Deleting it only makes it louder, and the internet treats the vanishing as confirmation. By 6:42 p.m., Jake is spotted leaving a soundstage used for motion capture shoots. No entourage photos, no friendly waves, just a straight-line exit that screams controlled logistics. At 8:11 p.m., searches for Mysterio alive spike 320% in under an hour. That is not nostalgia, it is coordination. The spike becomes the signal that pulls more players into the room. Pattern interrupt, stop and look at the timing. At 8:13 p.m., a major cast member likes a Mysterio helmet post, then removes it 90 seconds later. That tiny slip detonates the comment sections. By 9:58 p.m., Jake laughs at a direct mention of Mysterio, then goes silent for 3 full seconds. The pause lands like a drumbeat, and editors refuse to cut away from it. In fan circles, one phrase takes over, illusion within illusion. Suddenly, Mysterio isn't a villain rumor, he becomes a plot mechanism. That shift turns casual watchers into investigators overnight. At 11:58 p.m., a lighting tech posts a selfie from a London studio, then deletes it. In the reflection, a faint green glow sits behind rigging, and zoomed screenshots spread faster than the original post. The team tries to smother it with normal content, but the engagement drops 38% below baseline. The numbers expose the strategy, and the nothing-to-see approach makes the rumor feel realer. Open Loop, a project codename surfaces in whispers, Mirage, tied to April 28 through May 19 hold dates. The dates appear, then vanish, and the disappearing act becomes the headline. The cover-up begins. At 3:03 p.m. the Mirage entry gets scrubbed from the schedule, replaced with blank space. But archived screenshots multiply in private servers, and the cleanup looks like panic. Someone finds out outside the fandom bubble. A toy inventory system reactivates a dormant Mysterio-linked SKU, and warehouse activity quietly shifts. Supply chains do not chase rumors unless a forecast already exists. Small problem becomes bigger. 12,000 units get flagged for Q4 shipment without any public announcement. Merchandise moving ahead of marketing signals a controlled reveal, and the reveal starts to feel imminent. Pattern interrupt with a number. A $47 million contingency marketing line appears internally on March 4 at 6:14 p.m. That is not accidental budgeting, it is a switch being flipped behind the curtain. Comment bait lands here. After leak, denial, deletion, and money moving in silence, Mysterio's death starts looking like stagecraft. The only question now is who benefits most when the illusion becomes official. At 7:18 a.m., Jake's team quietly updates his press schedule, removing 2 late April appearances. Small tweak. But those dates overlap exactly with Mirage. The calendar conflict stops looking accidental, and that's when insiders start whispering louder. The fix comes fast. At 9:02 a.m., a rep insists the changes are logistical. But within 23 minutes, fans map the overlap to Pinewood availability. The explanation shrinks. The pattern grows, and more eyes lock in. By 11:11 a.m., a junior crew member likes a post linking Mirage to Illusion Tech. He unlikes it. Screenshots already circulate in 18 group chats. A tiny tap becomes a bigger breadcrumb, and now the crew is exposed. At 1:44 p.m., a casting call for aerial illusion sequences appears on a London board, then disappears in under an hour. That language is too specific to be random, and it points straight back to smoke. Pattern interrupt, shocking stat. At 2:26 p.m., Mysterio helmet searches jump another 410% in 36 minutes. That is not organic curiosity. That is coordinated ignition, and the engine is still revving. We close one loop, the limited status update wasn't random. At 3:03 p.m., Jake's agency blocks out May 1st through May 18th, exactly the Mirage window. The block confirms movement, but raises a bigger question about scope. The team pivots. At 5:12 p.m., Jake posts a beach photo tagged Malibu. But metadata from the upload shows a London IP. The distraction backfires instantly, and someone inside forgets to check the details. Someone finds out outside the fandom bubble. A London driver logs a 6:47 p.m. pickup under an alias matching Jake's initials. The receipt circulates privately, and now logistics teams start locking phones. The cover-up begins in earnest. At 8:03 p.m., an internal memo warns of Phase 6 confidentiality breaches. Staff accounts flip to private within hours. The tightening circle makes the leak look realer than ever. Time jump reveal. March 6, 6:14 p.m., 3 days after the first clip, a $47 million contingency marketing line gets reallocated to Project Mirage. The money moves before the announcement, and that's when dread settles in. Small problem becomes bigger. A VFX artist posts back to smoke simulations at 9:22 a.m., then deletes it. But cached previews remain visible. The smoke motif is no longer subtle, it's structural. Jake tries humor again at 11:05 a.m., saying, "Illusions are fun." The room laughs politely. Online, the clip racks up 2.1 million views in 6 hours. The joke becomes a tagline, and the spiral tightens. At 1:17 p.m., a toy distributor flags 12,000 Mysterio units for Q4 shipment. No teaser. No trailer. Just inventory moving. Merchandise before marketing signals confidence, and confidence means commitment. Someone inside panics. 3 crew accounts deactivate within 19 minutes. Group chats freeze. Phone policies tighten. The digital silence grows louder, and we can already see the unraveling. Direct address, watch the sequence. Leak. Deny. Delete. Allocate. Ship. The rhythm isn't chaos, it's choreography. And choreography only happens when the reveal is scheduled, and the clock is ticking. We close another loop, the purple smoke story wasn't random art. At 4:02 p.m., the same visual appears in a London stage lighting test. The motif matches exactly, and now the symbolism has a location. White medium star viral moment, at 6:41 p.m., a crew message leaks, Beck scene locked for reshoot. 8 words. 1 name. Quentin Beck. And that's when we realize the death was the illusion, not the comeback. The person everyone blamed, the overeager VFX artist, had nothing to do with it. The real breadcrumbs come from scheduling and money. The misdirection works perfectly, until it doesn't. At 8:58 p.m., Pinewood parking permits update under a temporary alias tied to Jake's initials. Small administrative detail. Massive implication. Aliases mean secrecy, and secrecy means something explosive is close. By 10:10 p.m., 2 cast members land in London within 42 minutes of each other. Different flights. Same destination. The spiral is no longer theory, it's logistics in motion, and it's building toward impact. March 8, 9:59 p.m. Pinewood Stage C. The lights dim. Purple smoke rolls low across the floor. A helmet sits on a black pedestal. No announcement. No music. Just breathless silence, and then the screen flickers. The monitor glitches. Static tears across the image. A distorted voice whispers, "Illusions never die." The crew freezes. Someone drops a headset. It's 2 seconds of audio, stretched into eternity. A silhouette steps into frame. Not fully lit. Just the outline of Jake Gyllenhaal's shoulders. His hand reaches forward slowly. Pauses above the helmet. Doesn't touch it. The room doesn't breathe. He lowers his hand. Stops halfway. Turns his head slightly to the left as if hearing something off camera. A red recording light blinks on. That blink feels louder than any applause. And then he speaks. Calm. Controlled. "Did you really think it was over?" No score. No explosion. Just that sentence hanging in the smoke, and everything shifts at once. 14 million views in 36 hours. Immediate circle first. Crew members text family at 10:12 p.m. Agents call producers. One executive reportedly stands up and just says, "It's happening." The decision is no longer theoretical, it's live. Social media detonates next. The first viral clip isn't the line, it's the hand hovering over the helmet. That half-second hesitation becomes the meme, the GIF, the screenshot everyone shares. By midnight, headlines flip from rumor to return confirmed. Purple smoke graphics dominate timelines. "Illusions never die" trends globally. And Jake? He posts nothing. Absolute silence. The chaos peaks at 1:33 a.m. 2 contracts still unsigned. 1 Phase 6 slate still hidden. The illusion is revealed, but the full plan isn't. And if this is only Act 1 of the comeback, the real twist hasn't landed yet.